The Sun, a blazing ball of plasma that has illuminated the skies for 4.6 billion years, is the foundation of life on Earth. Its warmth drives our weather systems, its light sustains plant life, and its gravitational pull keeps the solar system in perfect harmony. But like all stars, the Sun is not immortal. One day it will exhaust its fuel and die, and with it the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth will be forever broken. The question isn't if this will happen, but when. What exactly will occur when the Sun runs out of fuel? What will Earth look like in its final days under the Sun? And what can this teach us about the universe at large? To answer these questions, we must delve deep into the life cycle of stars and uncover the ultimate fate of our solar system. The Sun, like all stars, is powered by a process called nuclear fusion. Deep within its core, hydrogen atoms are fused together under immense pressure and temperature to form helium. This process releases an enormous amount of energy, which radiates outward and provides the light and heat that sustain life on Earth. But hydrogen, the Sun's primary fuel, is finite. The Sun is currently about halfway through its life cycle, known as the main sequence. This phase will last for approximately another 5 billion years. During this time, the Sun will continue to burn hydrogen in its core, maintaining the stability and brightness we've come to rely on. However, as it nears the end of its hydrogen reserves, the Sun's core will begin to collapse under the force of its own gravity. When this happens, the Sun will enter a phase of rapid and dramatic change. As the core contracts, it heats up, causing the outer layers of the Sun to expand outward. The Sun will swell to hundreds of times its current size, transforming into a red giant. During this phase, the Sun's outer edges will likely engulf the inner planets, including Mercury and Venus. What about Earth? Scientists are still debating whether our planet will be consumed by the Sun's expansion or remain just outside its fiery grasp. But even if Earth isn't physically engulfed, it will be scorched beyond recognition. The Sun's intense heat will boil away the oceans, strip the planet of its atmosphere, and incinerate all life. What remains will be a lifeless, charred rock orbiting a dying star. The red giant phase won't last forever. As the Sun burns through the helium created during its red giant phase, it will become increasingly unstable. Eventually, the Sun will shed its outer layers, creating a glowing cloud of gas and dust known as a planetary nebula. This beautiful yet haunting structure will mark the Sun's final act as a star. At the center of the nebula, what remains of the Sun will collapse into a white dwarf, a small, incredibly dense remnant roughly the size of Earth, but with a mass comparable to the Sun's current state. A white dwarf is essentially the corpse of a star. It no longer produces energy through fusion and instead glows faintly from residual heat. The white dwarf phase is the final chapter in the Sun's life cycle, but even this stage is not eternal. Over billions of years, the white dwarf will gradually cool and fade, becoming a cold, dark, and inert object known as a black dwarf. At this point, the Sun will have effectively ceased to exist, leaving the solar system in perpetual darkness. But what happens to Earth during this time? If the planet survives the red giant phase, it will orbit the white dwarf as a frozen, lifeless sphere. Without the Sun's warmth, temperatures on Earth will plummet to near absolute zero. Any remnants of the oceans will have long since frozen solid, and the atmosphere will have dissipated into space. The death of the Sun raises profound questions about humanity's long-term future. While the Sun's demise is billions of years away, it serves as a stark reminder of the impermanence of all things. If humanity is to survive in the distant future, we must look beyond Earth and consider our place in the cosmos. Colonizing other planets within our solar system may offer temporary solutions, but these worlds will also face destruction as the sun expands into a red giant. A more sustainable option would be to develop technologies that allow humanity to leave the solar system entirely and seek refuge around other stars. Such an endeavor would require advancements in propulsion systems, energy generation, and self-sustaining habitats, technologies that remain the stuff of science fiction but could one day become a reality. The death of the sun is not unique. Stars across the universe undergo similar life cycles, and the materials released during their deaths play a critical role in cosmic evolution. When the sun sheds its outer layers, it will enrich the surrounding interstellar medium with elements like carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, the building blocks of life. These elements may one day contribute to the formation of new stars, planets, and potentially new forms of life. In this sense, the death of the sun is not an end, but a transformation. It's part of the ongoing cycle of creation and destruction that drives the evolution of the universe. The atoms that make up our bodies, our planet, and everything we know were forged in the cores of ancient stars that died long before the sun was born. And in time, the sun will contribute its materials to the next generation of stars and planets. But there's something deeply poetic and humbling about this cosmic perspective. While the sun's death will take place over billions of years, it reminds us of the fleeting nature of our existence. Humanity has only been around for a tiny fraction of the sun's life, and yet we've already made a profound impact on our planet. The story of the sun's death is not just a tale of cosmic science. It's a reflection on our place in the universe. It challenges us to think about the legacy we want to leave behind and the steps we can take to ensure the survival of life beyond Earth. As we look to the future, we should remember to appreciate the present. The sun, in all its brilliance, continues to shine, sustaining life and inspiring wonder. Its eventual death is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. The sun's story is our story, and while its final chapters may be billions of years away, they serve as a reminder of the beauty, fragility, and resilience of life in the universe. Let us marvel at the sun's light, honor its legacy, and strive to understand the incredible cosmos in which we live. For in the end, the sun's life is not just the life of a star, it's the life of a system, a planet, and a species that dares to look to the skies and ask, what comes next?